Man, it's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now, listen, first and foremost, you already know time and energy is the highest forms of currency. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G, at all times. I mean, I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, chasing that moolah, getting to that guap, but always keep in front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G, at all times. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to all my day one investors. Big salute to all my newcomers, everybody that's helping the channel grow organically. You already know we growing the channel organically. So big salute to everybody that's tapped in, everybody that's in tune with the channel. Now, it's been a minute. It's been a minute handling some grown man business, taking care of some grown man business before I got back in tune with the people, before I got back in touch with y'all. But I already told y'all, you see the title. You see the title, you see the thumbnail, and you already know I told y'all one thing for sure, two things for certain. Gene Deal got Biggie Smalls deleted. Excuse me, guys. Woo. Yeah. Like I said, Gene Deal got Biggie Smalls deleted, my G. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And, you know, I got a lot of people in the DMs. I got a lot of people that saw the live stream that I did yesterday on my way coming back down to the big house, that was asking questions about that was really concerned and really, you know, wanted to elaborate on that situation, really wanted, you know, further detail on the situation with Gene Deal. And it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it, my G. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. Now, before we get into Gene Deal, I want to say this. It's a lot going on with Puff Daddy. We all see what's going down with Puff Daddy. We all see what's going on with P. Diddy. We all see what's going on with AKA Mr. I Wanna Party himself. We all see what's going on. And I want to say that, you know, I'm going to elaborate on Puff Daddy. I'm going to elaborate on the puppets that fall up under the higher ups and the elites, because you got to understand something. Puff Daddy is a victim. Puff Daddy was victimized before he became the monster that he is today. He was victimized and he was exposed to how the higher ups and the elites play ball. You understand what I'm saying? And that's gonna kind of draw off, and that's gonna kind of, you know, lead me into multiple different angles when it comes to the situation with Gene. But I wanted to put that out there. Gene Deal has been speaking on Puff Daddy for a long time. Gene Deal feels like he didn't get his just due for a long time, or whatever he did with Bad Boy, and he's been exposing Puff Daddy for years now. So this is nothing new. But the one thing that I knew and I noticed that has gone over everybody's head, the one thing that happened that went over everybody's head that nobody was able to pick up on, you understand, is that Gene Deal is the reason that Biggie Smalls lost his life. Gene Deal, I'm here to say it. I said it once, I'll say it twice. Gene Deal is the reason that Biggie Smalls lost his life. And because Gene Deal knows deep down, he's the reason. Gene Deal is subconscious. His subconscious, it messes with him every night. His subconscious messes with him every night. He doesn't get good sleep. He's always in and out, ripping and running. He's always trying to expose Diddy because deep down, he's trying to pay it forward. He's trying to pay it forward. He's trying to find forgiveness in letting Biggie Smalls, that young Biggie, because it was a young Biggie Smalls. You know, Biggie and Tupac was only like 24, 25 years old when they lost their life. So that was a young man. That was a young Biggie Smalls. And he let Biggie Smalls pass away. He didn't do enough. And not only did he not do enough, but he gave the green light. He been breaking, he folded for P. Diddy. And again, a lot of people are tapping in with me because they don't see this angle. They never got a chance to really see through the smoke and mirrors. And Grown Man Business TV, you already know we gonna see through the smoke and mirrors. We gonna scratch the surface every time. So it's a lot of people tapping in with me like, how do you see that? How do you figure? How do you figure, my G? Well, here we go. We're gonna break this thing down. We're gonna break this thing down with Gene Deal. And yes, homie, P. Diddy was victimized. Before Puff Daddy was able to become one of the top puppets, before Puff Daddy was able to be put in charge of the minions, be put in charge of the rappers, be put in charge of the hip hop situation, before he was able to do that, he was victimized by the higher ups and the elites. He was exposed. And by being exposed, they had to show him how they get down. They had to show him the ropes. Puff Daddy was a young black male from poverty. Same situation as most of us. You know, lost his father at a young age. His father passed away and died, right? But for a lot of us, your father go to jail, they pass away, right? You don't know your father. Single parent, single mother household, living in poverty out there in Harlem, New York. Puffy was a young man with a hustle that just wanted to get rich like every other entertainer, every other hip hop artist, every other, celebrity. And when he got into the game, he was an innocent young man that liked to dance, that liked to do music, that had a creativity and had a hustle. And somewhere down the line, he got exposed. He got exposed to the industry. Somewhere down the line, he was victimized, homie. But that's a whole nother situation. That's a whole nother live stream that I might go in depth on later tonight. But for right now, we sticking on Gene Deal, no Diddy. We gonna talk about Gene Deal. Because it gotta be said, homie. It gotta be put out there. Because if Gene Deal is able to come out and tell all these different stories and tell all these different encounters that he had with the diddler, that he had with P. Diddy, that he had with, Mr. I Want a Party, then we got to talk about the other side of this, Mr. Gene Deal. And here we are, Grown Man Business TV, here we are. So, Gene Deal was doing security for Puff Daddy. Gene Deal was doing security for P. Diddy, and Gene Deal was open, and he was able to capitalize off of all the perks and all of the things that come with hanging out with the top puppet, Puff Daddy. And he watched Puff Daddy take advantage of Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls, another young black male from poverty who don't know his father, just trying to make a way for his mother and his family, just trying to make it out of poverty. He knew nothing about publishing. Whew. Biggie Smalls knew nothing about publishing, but Puff Daddy had already been victimized. Puff Daddy had already been exposed. And one of the things he learned is that you get your hands on the publishing. You do what you got to do to get your hands on the publishing. And see, Puff Daddy had already got rid of and took advantage of Biggie Smalls and got his hands on his publishing. So let me get right to the meat and potatoes of the situation. Let me get right into how Gene Deal got Biggie Smalls killed. Because we passed 2 minutes, so now I can say it. Gene Deal got Biggie Smalls killed. Okay, they out there in L.A. Tupac has already lost his life. It's hot right now. It's hot out there in California. It's hot in South Central. But you know what? Puff Daddy, Biggie Smalls, Gene Deal, Junior Mafia, they out there. They promoting the music. They promoting the new album, Life After Death. They doing what they got to do. And Gene Deal was out there hanging with Biggie Smalls. And you know what? They had a conversation. Now, mind you, this all come from Gene Deal's mouth. This all come from Gene Deal's mouth, all right? Gene Deal said he had a conversation with Biggie Smalls, and Biggie Smalls said, Gene, hit some of this weed with me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk man to man. And I got some good California weed I want to smoke with you. Take a couple of hits of this weed with me. Gene took a couple of hits of weed with Biggie Smalls. Now, mind you, Gene is security. He ain't supposed to be smoking no weed. He ain't supposed to be intoxicated. But being as though he was hanging out with Biggie, he took a couple of hits off the weed. After they got high together, Gene looked at Biggie Smalls and he said, man, you're broke, man. You owe everybody. Gene said, Biggie Smalls got on the phone with his mother. Something was going on with the house that they was having built. They needed more money. They needed more cash to proceed with the house being built. And Biggie didn't have the money. And Gene heard Biggie Smalls say this to his mother. And when Biggie Smalls got off the phone, Gene looked at him and said, Biggie, man, you the brokest rapper I know, man. You owe everybody. And Biggie said, how do you know that? And Gene said, I saw your contract, Biggie. I know that you owe everybody. I know the real you. I know that you broke, my G. I know it. I know it already. And Biggie was high. He thought Gene was a real one. So what he did was he told Gene, oh, I ain't gonna be broke for long, homie. Look at this. And he showed Gene a check for $62 million. Woo! Woo! Follow me on this. Follow me on this. Biggie Smalls showed Gene Deal a check for $62 million. And he also told Gene, Lil' Kim, Junior Mafia, I'm taking them somewhere else. I'm not giving them to Puff Daddy. Oh, and you didn't know this, did you, Gene? That, Biggie Smalls, I wrote all of Lil' Kim's work, all her raps, I wrote all of that. All Junior Mafia's raps, I wrote all of that. All of Lil' Kim's raps, I wrote all of that. So I'm going to get the publishing on that. I'm not going to give them to Puff Daddy so Puff Daddy can do to them what he did to me. Biggie Smalls told Gene Deal all of that. Gene Deal, at this present time, was just like everybody else. He was kissing Puff Daddy ass. He would do almost anything to keep his job with Puff Daddy. He didn't want to mess his money up with Puff Daddy. See, right now, Gene Deal is rebellious. Right now, after all of the work, after everything crashes, after empires fall, now Gene Deal he's telling all. But for a long time, Gene Deal was Puff Daddy's right-hand man. He was the guy that was closest to Puff Daddy. He was Puff Daddy's security. And Biggie Smalls told Gene Deal all of that, not, understanding and believing that Gene Deal was a real one. Believing that Gene Deal would never, ever expose his secrets, tell his truths. You understand? But again, Gene Deal was just another ass kisser. He was just another guy getting a check, kissing ass. Yeah, it been a while since I went live, baby. It been a while since I went live, so, my throat got a little choppy. Had to take a sip of coffee, clear, but here we are. Biggie told Gene Deal that he was taking Junior Mafia and he was taking Lil' Kim somewhere else. Now, before I go any further, I want to say this. I'm an 80s baby. To all you youngsters out there, y'all just don't understand how big, how huge Lil' Kim was when she first came out. Lil' Kim is the blueprint for Nicki Minaj. Lil' Kim is the blueprint for every female rapper that you see out. Cardi B, Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, I don't care. Go down the list. Lil' Kim is the blueprint. A lot of y'all don't understand how huge Lil' Kim was. Just like y'all don't understand how influential and how huge and how impactful Michael Jordan was. So y'all put LeBron James over Michael Jordan. Y'all put a Nicki Minaj or a Cardi B over a Lil' Kim because y'all don't understand. But I'm here to tell you, Little Kim, nobody has seen anything like it. So Biggie checkmated Puff Daddy. And not only did he checkmate Puff Daddy, he checkmated the higher ups and the elites that Puff Daddy is catering to. Follow me on this. Gene Deal, if you let me listen to me. Gene Deal smoked some weed with Biggie Smalls. He told Biggie, man, you the brokest rapper I ever seen. Biggie looked at Gene and said, damn, how do you know that? And Gene said, homie, I saw your contracts. I'm Puff Daddy's right-hand man. I saw your contracts with my own eyes. You owe everybody. And Biggie was so offended. Biggie only counter that he had was to expose his hand. And he said, listen, Gene, I'm going to tell you something don't nobody know. Look at this. And he showed Gene Deal a $62 million contract. He also told Gene Deal, listen, man, I'm taking Little Kim and I'm taking Junior Mafia and I'm taking them somewhere else. I'm not going to let Puff Daddy get his hands in the pot when it comes to them. I'm not going to let Puff Daddy do to them what he did to me. I'm taking him somewhere else. Oh, and last but not least, Gene Deal, I wrote every line for Little Kim. I wrote her whole album and I write for Junior Mafia. There go my publishing right there, times 100. So let's go further. I need y'all to follow me on this. So Gene Deal now has this information. Him and Biggie Smalls have the conversation. And sooner or later on today, Puff Daddy comes into the building. Oh, Sean Diddy Combs. He comes into the studio. Puffy, he take that. He feeling good. He feeling right. He happy. Right? Him and Biggie Smalls, they been kind of butting heads a little bit. Biggie is not really feeling. See, Biggie done learned the industry. Biggie done learned the game. Biggie understands that Puff Daddy, you not really my homie. You took full advantage. You ain't even give me a part of my publishing. You took all my publishing. And then you brought me out the rest. Yeah, you took all my publishing, homie. For pennies on the dollar. So Biggie and Puffy was having little, interactions. It wasn't going right. They was butting heads a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So Puffy come into the studio. Biggie and Puffy get to talking. And Biggie says to Puff Daddy, you need to do a little better, man, because your security been smoking weed all day. Now, mind you, Gene Deal didn't think that Biggie Smalls was going to tell Puff Daddy that he had been smoking weed all day. Hey, Gene, I'm sorry, but I got to expose you on this. Biggie told Puffy, your security been smoking weed all day with me. This your security? He been smoking weed all day. Now, Gene Deal he's upset now. He's exposed now. He got Puff Daddy. He got his boss looking at him sideways because he ain't supposed to be smoking no weed on the clock. He's a security guard. So Gene Deal gets so upset that he turns around and he tells Puffy, well, yeah, I've been smoking weed. But did you know that Biggie Smalls got a $62 million check from another record label? Did you know that Biggie Smalls wrote all of Little Kim's album? Did you know that Biggie Smalls wrote all of Junior Mafia's music? Did you know that Biggie Smalls, your artist right here, is about to take those groups to a whole nother record label and you ain't gonna get your hands on it? Yeah, right there. When Gene Deal told Puff Daddy that Biggie Smalls wrote all of the music for Little Kim, when Biggie Smalls had a $62 million check that Puffy ain't have his hands in, that was the green light for Puffy. Gene Deal signed Biggie Smalls' death certificate. Gene Deal signed Biggie Smalls' death certificate when he told Puff Daddy all that Biggie Smalls had told him. And what did Gene Deal say Puff Daddy did after he told him that? What did he... Listen, All of this that I'm telling you, homie. Hey, listen. All this I'm telling you came out of Gene Deal's mouth. Because Gene Deal talks so much. He's ratting, he's telling, he's exposing so much that he exposed himself, my G. He exposed himself. Yeah, Dirty Harry Films, salute, my G. Yeah, I wanted to see if somebody was on code with this. Now listen to me. Let me break this down, Dirty. Hey, listen, let me break this down. Follow me. Gene Deal said Puffy got so mad, his face got so sweaty, and he was so livid that he jumped in Biggie's small face and said, "Is that true? Are you serious? No, this can't be real. Big, is that true, Biggie? You wrote all." He went ballistic. I don't even want. You cannot reenact that type of energy. He got in Biggie Small's face and he went crazy. Because you got to understand something. Biggie Smalls is one of those guys that's gonna rock you to sleep. You know, Biggie Smalls is the big fat guy from Brooklyn, poor big fat guy with the cock eye, with the cross eye, right? He's gonna play stupid. If you think that Biggie Smalls is slow, he gonna play slow. If you think that Biggie Smalls is stupid, he gonna play stupid, and then it's gonna be checkmate. So what Biggie Smalls did was he played dumb. He found out that Puffy had his publishing. He found out that the publishing is the gold. You don't need the money, you need the publishing. So what he did was he wrote and he created an artist bigger than himself, which was Lil' Kim, and he took all her publishing. Yeah. Biggie Smalls wrote every line, so he had the publishing and the writing credit when it comes to Lil' Kim. And if you don't understand this, I'm here to tell you that Lil' Kim was a even bigger artist than Biggie Smalls. She was 3, 4, 5 times bigger than Biggie was. She was the first female artist that they sexualized. So Puffy was livid. Because it's like playing a game and you think that you're winning, and then out of nowhere you find out that you've been checkmate. You find out that you lost. And not only did you lose, but your bosses lost. The higher ups, yes. He jumped in Biggie's face and he went fucking crazy. And what did Biggie do? Biggie sat there and he said, yeah. Okay, you got it. Okay, you got it. Biggie didn't lose his cool. Biggie didn't get back in his face. Biggie didn't raise his voice. Biggie didn't get in the physical altercation because in the back of Biggie Small's mind, he knew, I got you. The last thing Biggie Smalls thought is that Puffy was going to line him up and get him out of there. The last thing that Biggie Smalls thought is that this was going to be his last airplane ride, that he was not going to see his family. The last thing he thought. Again, exactly. Never overshine the master. 48 laws of power, baby. 48 laws of power. And with that move right there, Biggie had overshined not only the master, but the master's master. And the master's masters, yeah, the higher ups and the elites, somebody was going to pay for this. So you mean to tell me, Puff Daddy, this fat, cockeyed boy from Brooklyn tricked you out of $62 million? $62 million that we was going to get some of, you was going to get some of? So you mean to tell me we ain't got our hands in the pot? Gene Deal signed Biggie Smalls' death certificate when he exposed that Biggie Smalls was going to leave Bad Boy. When he exposed that Biggie Smalls was taking Lil' Kim and taking Junior Mafia with him. Now, when Gene Deal did that, did he know he was signing his death certificate? He didn't know it yet. He didn't know it yet. He didn't understand it yet. But let's go deeper into this situation. Puffy's living. Puffy done figured out that he got checkmated. Puffy done figured out that it's nothing he could do. Biggie done already got the $62 million check. Biggie done already been in negotiations with other record labels to take Junior Mafia and the biggest female artist we had ever seen in our lives, Lil' Kim, away from Bad Boy. Lil' Kim and Junior Mafia was never signed to Bad Boy when Biggie played him. So Gene Deal said that him, his homie, and Puff Daddy were at the mansion. Puffy was going crazy. Puffy was hot. He was mad. He was steaming. Puffy was up and down the stairs. And Puffy said out of his mouth to Gene Deal and his homie, I'm sick of this. I can't deal with this no more. I got so much going on. I got too many people over my head looking down on me. I got too many people that I'm taking care of for this type of shit to be happening. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Suge Knight can go to jail. Tupac could get killed. Or Biggie could get killed. I don't care anymore. That's what he said out of his mouth, my G. He said, I don't care what's going on. I can't deal with this no more. I got people looking over me. I got people that I'm taking care of. You know what? I don't care if Suge Knight goes to jail. I don't care that Biggie Puff Daddy. I don't care if Tupac got killed. And you know what? Biggie could get killed too. That's when, that right there, that is when Gene Deal realized he messed up. That is when Gene Deal realized, oh, I signed Biggie Smalls' death certificate and he's not gonna make it. They're gonna delete, they're gonna kill, they're gonna get rid of Biggie Smalls. That is when the light bulb went off in Gene Deal's head that, you know what, I said too much. I said too much. I exposed him. I exposed him. You got to understand something. Biggie Smalls sat there and let Puff Daddy go crazy because he wasn't gonna mess up nothing. Yeah, the deal was already done. The deal was already done. And Gene Deal homie said, "Hey Gene, did you hear what Puffy just said?" He said, "Yeah." He said he don't care if Biggie dies. So now Gene Deal he's making phone calls. He's getting in touch with his homies. His homies is saying, yo, y'all going, some people. Now let me go into a whole nother angle with this. The stage was set up beautifully. Because what a lot of people don't understand, it was multiple different ways that Biggie Smalls could have lost his life. Pac had just lost his life. Pac had just been assassinated. And, Biggie Smalls and Tupac had the whole East Coast, West Coast beef. So you know what? Biggie Smalls could have lost his life, because of Tupac. Biggie Smalls could have lost his life because it was an East Coast, West Coast beef. Biggie Smalls could have lost his life for multiple different reasons. So that's how easy it was for Puffy to hit that green light and say, you know what, we got to get rid of, because if we get rid of Puff Daddy, we get rid of Biggie Smalls, everything that he touches, I own now. So a lot of people think it was because of Tupac. A lot of people think it was because of X, Y, and Z. And listen, those dirty police officers and everybody that was circling, all the vultures that was circling Biggie Smalls, they were out there. But if Biggie Smalls had never told Gene Deal what he had in the workings, if Gene Deal had never told Puff Daddy what Biggie Smalls said and what Biggie Smalls had going on, you can guarantee after that party, Biggie would have had way more security. Biggie would have had way more security. So again, these are all things that come out of Gene Deal's mouth. Gene Deal said when they came out the party, the guy that shot up the car, the guy that assassinated Biggie Smalls, he walked up the street. He walked right up on them. Gene Dill peeped him out, and Gene said that he went down and he reached and he grabbed that burner and let him know, listen, it's heat over here, homie. We ain't, yeah. And he said that homie just turned around and walked away. But you got to understand something. He wasn't about to do anything right then and there. He walked up to Biggie Smalls just to check the temperature. Because if Biggie Smalls had real security, he wouldn't have got within 10 to 15 feet of Biggie Smalls. But with the way he walked up on him, let him know this man ain't got no security. This man ain't rolling the way he's supposed to be rolling. And the reason is because Puff Daddy said, you know what? I already know they want to kill you. I done already put money out in the streets. I already know what's going on the West Coast. Biggie Smalls didn't understand the depth of how deep he was. But Puffy knew. Or they coming for you, Biggie. The only thing I got to do is make sure I don't protect you. Now, if Gene Dill never tells Puff Daddy what Biggie Smalls got up his sleeve, Biggie Smalls has more security. When that shooter walks up on Biggie, he would have understood like, oh shit, I ain't gonna be able to get this off. This dude is highly protected. I'm not gonna be able to shoot that car up and drive off. But you gotta understand something. If Gene Dill never tells Puff Daddy what Biggie has up his sleeve, then Biggie Smalls is still an asset to Puff Daddy. He's still the biggest money maker for Puff Daddy. There is no way that Puff Daddy is going to let him ride around in a rented Suburban, not bulletproof, no security, no guns, and no protection. Because Puff Daddy, one thing for sure, two things for certain, he knows how to protect his assets. As soon as Gene Dill opened his mouth and told Puff Daddy everything he knew that Biggie Smalls was doing, now Biggie Smalls is a liability. And I'm just trying to give y'all some game. You protect the assets. When it comes to liabilities, you want to get rid of all liabilities. And as soon as he exposed Biggie Smalls, now Biggie Smalls is a liability. $62 million you ain't tell me about. I done came and took you out the hood. I done invested in you. I done made you a star. And then you're gonna go take a $62 million check. Not only that, you're gonna take Little Kim and Junior Mafia, who are guaranteed to make 100 million plus, and you're gonna give them to somebody else. Okay, cool. Biggie Smalls had no protection because of that. And I want to give you some more game. Now it should make sense to you why Gene Dill was going so hard to try to save Biggie Smalls. He said he was in the car with Diddy and he tried to hang out the window. He told dude, don't run the light. He told dude, make sure this, make sure that. He hopped out the car with Diddy. He jumped in the car with Biggie Smalls. He tried to get him to a hospital because his subconscious was killing him. His conscious was killing him, homie. In the back of his mind, he said, I got this young boy killed. I should have never told Puff Daddy about what he had going on. See what I'm saying? So that's where you got to understand something. That's where it really get deep and get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. At that present time, Gene Dill was making good money with Puff Daddy. The last thing he wanted to do was lose his job. And Biggie Smalls telling Puff Daddy, yeah, Gene Dill been smoking weed with us all day. That good Cali bud, that good Cali green, he been smoking with us all day long. That would have cost Gene Dill his job, homie. That would have cost Gene Dill a significant lump sum of money. So to counteract that, to get the attention off of Gene Dill said, you know what, Puffy? I ain't been smoking no weed, but you know what Biggie Smalls been doing, right? He been taking meetings behind your back. He got a $62 million check you ain't know nothing about. Not only that, Biggie been writing for Little Kim. And listen, you got to understand something. You got to understand something, baby. Puffy didn't think that Biggie was that talented. He knew Biggie was a talent, but he didn't know Biggie was that talented to write for a female, to make those classics for Little Kim. So when he found out that Biggie was writing for Little Kim, it threw him off the deep end, because what he planned on doing was signing Lil Kim the Bad Boy, signing Junior Mafia the Bad Boy, already got Biggie Smalls on Bad Boy, and then once we sign Lil Kim the Bad Boy, now we're going to negotiate the publishing. Hey, look, Lil Kim, you a huge artist. We're going to give you $1 million up front, but we need 90% of your publishing, and we're going to take this, and we're going to give you this $1 million. And you know what Little Kim would have did? She would have took that $1 million, and Puff Daddy would have had 100% of her publishing. But Biggie, he checkmate Puff Daddy. He wrote all her lyrics. All her publishing go to Biggie. Biggie said, you know what, Puffy? You can have my publishing, but I'm going to create an artist that's 100 times bigger than me, and I'm going to take her publishing. I'm going to write for her. I'm going to get the writing credits for hardcore. Do your research, homie, on how big, on how huge Little Kim was. Again, I'm telling you, youngsters, you come here for the information. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. And you young bucks, you youngsters don't understand how huge Little Kim was. Y'all don't understand the magnitude of Little Kim. Every female rapper to this day follows the blueprint of Little Kim. Yeah. Don't worry about that, homie. Hey, look, man. The channel is called Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? So the last thing you want to do is come on to another man's channel. And, you know, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Your wife will love it. Your shorty will love it. You feel what I'm saying? Don't you ever get it confused, homie. You feel me? Your wife will love it. So yeah, be careful, man. You know what I mean? Be careful. Hold on. Let me help you out, homie. Let me help you out. Now, I ain't even gonna do you like that right this second. I'm gonna let you live. But yeah, Little Kim, the magnitude of Little Kim. Biggie Smalls created the blueprint for every female rapper that you see to this day. Biggie Smalls did that. So Biggie Smalls was literally about to make $200-300 million, and he figured out a way to get Puff Daddy hand out the pot. He figured out a way to get the higher ups and the elites hands out the pot, my G. And I say that to say this, Gene Deal, if you didn't talk so much, Gene Deal, if you didn't expose Biggie Smalls, he would probably still be living today. Gene Deal signed the death certificate for Biggie Smalls. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, like it or not. Like it or not. And a lot of people say to themselves, you know, because you got to understand something, Gene Deal made a lot of money with Puff Daddy. Gene Deal changed his life for working with Bad Boy. Puffy didn't do Gene wrong. Puffy didn't take advantage of Gene. Gene told a story recently about Usher. And I want to use this story to just show you how close Gene Deal was to Puffy. He said that Puffy was in a room with a female and he was in a room with Kim Porter. No, he said Puffy was in a room with Kim Porter. He said they was in a suite. This is Gene Deals told this story. He talks so much that he don't even realize he's exposing himself. Kim Porter was in a room. He said somebody's baby mom was in the main suite. Who baby mom was it? It was somebody baby mom, some famous person. He was knocking their baby mom off. He said that Puffy came out of the room with Kim Porter. He was in the room with Kim Porter. He came out the room into the main suite where Gene Deal and the young lady was at. He said he came into the room where they was at and he instantly began to get fellatio from the young lady. He said, Gene Deal said that he was in the same room with Puffy while Puffy was getting topped off. And then he said that Puffy went back in the main suite. I mean, he went back into the room with Kim Porter. Usher came in 5 minutes later, and he kissed the young lady in the mouth that was with that had just did what she did to Puffy. Now, when you listen to that story, right, the main thing that's sticking in your mind is, damn, Usher came in the room and Usher kissed that girl in the mouth that just sucked Puffy off, like just gave him fellatio. That's the first thing that come to your head. But when you can see through the smoke and mirrors, when you really see through the smoke and mirrors, you got to ask yourself, so you telling me, Gene, you was sitting right there on the couch and Diddy was getting his dick sucked right there, and you was just in the same room, you was just right there. You know, you was that comfortable around Diddy. You was that comfortable in the same room with that man getting fellatio. That's deep, homie. That show how much of a puppet Gene Deal really was at the time. I don't know about right now because all he wants to do is expose Diddy. But at the time, Gene Deal was a yes man. At the time, Gene Deal was a puppet. Gene Deal used to walk around sex stores with Puff Daddy and watch Puff Daddy buy butt plugs. Pause. I'm going to say it again. Gene Deal used to walk around sex stores with Puff Daddy. He would literally go into these sex stores and watch Puff Daddy buy butt plugs. What man you know going to do that? Listen, man, you want to go in a sex store, go in a sex store. I'm not going in with you. I'll like stand at the front door. I'm not going to walk around a sex store with you. I'm not coming to the counter with you. I'm literally not going to know what you went in there to get. No Diddy. I'm not going to know. But Gene Deal was able to tell us that Diddy had butt plugs in the bag. This is how comfortable Gene used to be with Puff Daddy. Sexual acts going on in the same room. You know, Gene thinks that he's exposing Puff Daddy, but one thing for sure, two things for certain. As he's exposing Puff Daddy, he's exposing himself. And when the feds come, which they are already here, when it gets deep and it gets wicked and they get into the, you know, the meat and potatoes of this trial, of this situation with Puffy, Gene Deal name is going to come up. And then real questions are going to be asked. Because after you expose Puff Daddy, now they're going to cross-examine you, homie. And you're going to have to, it's going to expose you. Gene Deal is the reason Biggie Smalls lost his life. That's the reason why Gene Deal goes so hard on Puff Daddy. You're not going to hear this nowhere else. See, again, I told y'all, I carved out a lane for the real and I'm the only one in it. So when you look at everybody talking about Gene Deal, when you look at everybody talking about what's going on with Puffy, everybody just sees the surface. Nobody scratches the surface. Nobody said, why is Gene Deal going so hard? Why is he going so hard at Puffy neck, homie? Too Blown, what it do? Wisdom B, what it do? Why is he so adamant about going at Puff Daddy neck? Why is he going on all these platforms? It's because he know he got Biggie Smalls killed. He trying to pay it forward. Not only did Gene Deal press the green light on Biggie Smalls' death, but he also was around for those sex parties. You know, Puff Daddy getting fellatio in the same room with him. You know, he tells a story on how his girlfriend and her homegirl got spiked drinks, and they got so intoxicated off the spiked drinks that they went in the car and went to sleep. So Gene Deal attended those parties where Puff Daddy was spiking those drinks. Yeah. Yeah, get deep and get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap, my G. So what is the first thing a rat gonna do? What is the first thing a snitch gonna do? He gonna tell. He gonna tell. The first thing all Gene Deal had to say was, man, you know Biggie, man, I ain't inhale no weed with him, man. That nigga lying, man. You know Biggie upset with you right now. You know how Biggie is. I ain't smoking no weed. I ain't high. But instead of that, he told on Biggie. He told on Biggie. What's the first thing a rat gonna do? He gonna tell. So Gene Deal is going on all these different podcasts. He's going on all these different platforms and he's telling on Puff Daddy. He's trying to cover up his own ass. Hey, I'ma tell everything. Just don't ask me no questions on what I had to do with it. Nobody asking Gene Deal why he ain't. Yo, so when Puffy did what he did to Usher, why didn't you go to the police, Gene Deal? Knowing that Usher was a minor, knowing that Usher was a child, knowing that Usher, you know, was new to the game and he was still pure, he was still innocent. When you found out what Diddy did to Usher, why did you still work for him? When your homegirl and your girlfriend told you that they was dizzy off them spiked drinks, that they had took a glass of champagne and they felt woozy and dizzy, and the only thing they could do was escape the Diddy party, go get in the car and go to sleep. Why didn't you stop working for Diddy then? Why didn't you start exposing him then when he drugged up your girlfriend? Nobody's asking these questions. Nobody's asking these questions, homie. But Grown Man Business TV. You come here for the real. That's it. You come here for the real and that's it. Gene Deal. Gene Deal signed Biggie Smalls' death certificate because Biggie Smalls had a $62 million check. He wasn't broke, homie. I mean, yeah, Biggie was talking his shit too. Biggie said, yeah, after he told Gene Deal what he had going on, he said, yeah, man, shit, maybe you could come work for me, homie. I got something for you. I got a bag for you. I got a check for you. I'm about to be the man. And not only am I about to be the man, but Puff Daddy, he's done. He's done. Because everybody that I bought the bad boy, they gonna come with me. The Locks, everybody, Mace and Betha, everybody that's with Bad Boy, they gonna come ride with Biggie Smalls. The same way the whole Rockefeller crew went and rolled with Jay-Z. They're gonna ride with Biggie. So your man, your boss, he's done. Real mafia shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand. Hold on. And I got time today. What I'm saying is this. Puffy knew that Biggie Smalls' life was in danger, being out there on the West Coast. Puffy knew that the only way Biggie Smalls was going to make it out of the West Coast is with top-notch security, bulletproof vehicles, top-notch security, like real security. And when Puff Daddy found out that Biggie Smalls had did all those things behind his back, he made sure not to have security at that party. Yeah, yeah. Listen to me. Listen to me and look past the smoke and mirrors. Puffy got mad as hell. He got in Biggie Smalls' face and he told Biggie Smalls, he got in Biggie Smalls' face and he cussed him out. You writing for Lil' Kim? Huh? You got a $62 million check. I mean, he got in his face. That's what Gene said. Then he went back to the condo, to the mansion, and he told Gene Deal and his homeboy, man, I got too much going on. I got a lot of people, you know, higher ups and elites breathing down my neck. No Diddy. I got a lot of people that I'm feeding, and I got to keep on supplying and feeding my workers. And this nigga gonna go get a $62 million check and not tell me about it? I don't care that Tupac died. You know, I don't care. You know, Suge Knight can go to jail and even Biggie Smalls could die. He said this. He said this. Now, mind you, again, When you dealing with the higher ups and the elites, even a Gene Deal is not going to be in the same room. Even a Gene Deal is not going to be on the same phone call when those people got in touch with Puff Daddy, or when Puff Daddy got in touch with them people, the higher ups and the elites. And I can tell you basically how it went. Puff Daddy said, yo, I got a problem. I got a problem. What's going on, Diddy? What's going on, man? What's the problem, Diddy? Listen. Biggie Smalls got one up on me. What you mean Biggie Smalls got one up on you? Biggie Smalls got a $62 million check sitting in his pocket right now. He's planning on not re-signing with Bad Boy, and he's planning on going to do his own thing. No worries, no worries, no worries, Puffy. Well, listen, man, we not even really... Biggie could do his own thing. We want Little Kim. Well, you know, he can't take Little Kim. She signed a Bad Boy, right? He can't take Junior Mafia. He signed a Bad Boy, right? And guess what? Puffy got to say, you know what? Nah, I didn't sign him yet. So now the higher ups is upset. So you telling me you ain't signed Little Kim the Bad Boy? This huge fucking star, she's not signed to you? Nah, she ain't signed to me. I didn't get a chance to write the contracts up yet. I ain't get a chance to sign Junior Mafia yet. I don't know what to do. Biggie Smalls is done his last album. He's finished, and he's not going to re-sign with Bad Boy. And he's going to take his Junior Mafia, and he's going to take Little Kim over to somebody else. Not only that, Biggie Smalls wrote the whole hardcore album. He has all the publishing. There is no publishing for us to break down when it comes to Little Kim. I don't know what to do. The higher ups and the elites say you got to get rid of him. Hey, listen, the only scenario right now is to get rid of him. You got to get rid of him. Because when you get rid of Biggie Smalls, all his publishing go to you, both his albums go to you. We can capitalize off his death, but we can't capitalize if he take that $62 million check and he take everybody with him over there after we done built this artist up. Yeah. Yeah. Now I want to tell you this. In due time, Biggie Smalls was going to have the same problem with Junior Mafia and Little Kim that he had with Biggie. I mean, Biggie was going to have the same problem with them that he had with Puffy, because he did the same thing to them that Puffy did to him. He you know, again, when these guys get taken advantage of in the industry, they just turn around and do it to somebody else. They don't take the game and say, you know what, we're going to break the chain. We're going to stop this shit. They say, okay, Puffy did it to me. I'm going to do it to y'all. So, you know, Biggie took all of Little Kim's publishing. He had all the publishing for Junior Mafia. He wrote all the music, so he had all the writer's credit. So after the first album, that Little Kim album, Biggie was on a whole nother level. They would have did the Junior Mafia album, Biggie was on a whole nother level. So the higher ups and the elites told Diddy the only way to fix this is to get rid of Big. And did Puff Daddy literally kill Biggie Smalls with his own hands? No. He left Biggie Smalls out there in LA naked with no Diddy. He left him out there with no protection, no security. Yeah. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. That's where Gene Deal plays the part at. Gene Deal told, and now mind you, they saying, Puff Daddy saying to himself, we got to get this done now. We got to get this done now, homie. Gene Deal told on Biggie Smalls. He exposed Biggie Smalls. And then as soon as he figured out that Puffy was going to get rid of Biggie Smalls, he tried to do something about it. But, the cake was already baked. It was already too late. They was already knee deep. I mean, it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap, my G. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Yeah. Exactly. He said, you know what? They want to kill Biggie. They on his heels. He don't even understand it's crooked cops, how deep it is. They want his neck. They want Biggie Small's life. But because now you're a liability, because now I found out that you've been going behind my back, because now I found out that we are enemies, you have no protection for me. Yeah, I'm going to take my protection off you. How Biggie Smalls make it all the way through the whole situation in LA without being touched, going to get tattoos, going to the radio stations, going all these different places with no security, and he didn't get touched one time because, believe it or not, those people knew he's under Puff Daddy's protection. We can't just touch him like that. But the night of that party, ooh, all the gloves was off by then. All the gloves was off by then, my G. And that's how Gene Deal got that man knocked off. That's how Gene Deal is responsible for the life of Biggie Smalls. You know, Gene Deal got that blood on his hands. You know, Gene, when he talk about it, you can see how emotional he get when he talk about Biggie Smalls. Because he understands. Now, he's not going to tell you guys this. He's not going to sit there and tell you. But he understands in his line of work, that when he told on Biggie Smalls, he exposed Biggie Smalls. And when he told on Biggie Smalls, he signed his death. Listen, he signed his death certificate, homie. Puff Daddy had never got in Biggie Smalls' face like that. Puff Daddy had never, ever approached Biggie Smalls like that. But when Puff Daddy realized that he had been checkmated, he flipped out, homie. He flipped out. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to everybody that's in the chat. You already know what time it is, man. Be sure. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, my G. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But we're going to talk about some other things today as well. I'm going live again today, maybe another 2 or 3 times, because another thing that I want to talk about is not just Gene Deal, but it's Choke No Joke. I just gave y'all how Gene Deal got Biggie Smalls killed. Now, Choke No Joke on a whole nother hand, Choke No Joke on a whole nother angle is going to be one of the main reasons that Jay-Z falls. One thing for sure, 2 things for certain, man. You don't want to have disgruntled employees like Choke No Joke and Gene Deal. You don't want to have disgruntled employees like Choke No Joke or Gene Deal. Because these type of employees, man, will be a downfall. And I know for a fact that Puff Daddy saying to himself, I should have paid Gene Deal off a long time ago. I should have gave Gene Deal, I should have gave him a couple million. And you know what? In due time, Jay-Z's going to say the same thing about Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke and Gene Deal, they having a back and forth right now. But what they both got to understand is y'all both in the same boat. You know, Choke No Joke, 1 minute, you know, he's exposing the industry. The next minute, he's trying to work with Jay-Z. And then when that doesn't happen, now he's back to exposing Jay-Z. Y'all are 2 peas in the same pod, my G. And it's a grown man standing on grown man business that's going to expose that. Choke No Joke is one of those disgruntled employees like Gene Deal. And one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, Diddy's not the only one that's going to fall. Jay-Z is on the chopping block as well. They want Jay-Z neck as well, my G. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You understand me? Yeah, I'm back, man. Y'all see how I'm giving it up, man. Yo, hey, look, shout out to my barber. Shout out to my barber, man. You know what I mean? He a monster. He a monster. Yeah, Jay-Z is on the chopping block. The reason they was able to get the P. Diddy so easily is because P. Diddy went ahead and he sued those British guys, those dudes from Great Britain that own Ciroc and own DeLeon. Diddy sued them. And when Diddy sued them, they are on code, homie. You mess with one of those guys, you got to mess with all of them. So that's why Diddy, his character's being assassinated. That's why Diddy is out of here. But I'm gonna tell you something. Jay-Z's up next. And the only reason, hold on, homie, I must not got no shooters in the chat, so I'm gonna take care of you right now. And the only reason that Jay-Z has not been exposed, the only reason why Jay-Z has not been, his character has not been assassinated just yet is because he got Beyonce, homie. Yeah. That's the only difference between Jay-Z and Puff Daddy. Jay-Z stands behind the image of a family man. Jay-Z has a wife and kids and a family that he represents. Puff Daddy don't got a wife. Puff Daddy running around having sex with Young Miami and doing whatever he want to do. That's why it was easy to get next to him. It's not that easy to get next to Jay-Z. I'm giving y'all some game, homie. Yeah, y'all came here for the right reasons. Y'all came here for the real. And since I've been gone, y'all ain't been getting nothing but that phony fakeness. You come to Grown Man Business TV for the real, my G. Again, I told y'all, Jay-Z is smart. Ask yourself this question. Name one billionaire you know that is not married or has not been married multiple times. These guys, they make billions of dollars, they get married. They get a divorce and they get married again. They get a divorce and they get married again. They get a divorce and they get married again. Because you got to do your dirt behind the image of a family, homie. You got to have a wife that represents something. And then you got to have a family that represents something. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. You don't want to upset Beyonce and the Beehive. I'm trying to give y'all some game. So they can't just put their hands on Jay-Z. They can't just assassinate Jay-Z character. But Puff Daddy, you got a Young Miami. You got a Carisha. You got prostitutes and sex workers. Easy to assassinate your character and get you out of here. And Choke No Joke is spearheading the movement against Jay-Z. And Gene Deal is spearheading the movement against Puff Daddy. Salute, salute. Your mama a clown. I got time today, David. Yeah, I got time today. Yeah, Jay-Z's on his way out. It's just going to take longer. It's going to be a longer process because Jay-Z stands behind the family image. All of these billionaires, all of the top celebrities, all of the top puppets, the white ones, they all have been married multiple of times, my G. Now listen to me. Gene Deal, you got Biggie Smalls assassinated. And you should be ashamed of yourself, homie. You should be ashamed of yourself. You come on these platforms and you expose Puff Daddy, right? You make a whole living off of exposing Puff Daddy. You make a whole situation off of exposing Puff Daddy. But in exposing Puff Daddy, you exposed yourself, homie. And real big dogs like myself that see through the smoke and mirror, we see you very clearly, Gene Deal. And when you told on Biggie Smalls, you signed his death certificate. And you know that. You feel that. That's why you go so hard at Diddy. That's why you always talking about the situation with Big, because you feel bad about the situation. And you should feel bad. You should regret that. Yeah. We not worried about the haters, Wisdom B. It been, you know what? I told y'all already. When you get to talking the truth, when you get to spreading facts out, when you carve out a lane for the real and you're the only one in it, The more we grow, the more organically we grow in this platform, in this on this app. You understand what I'm saying? The more trolls come, the more distractions come because they want to distract you for what I'm telling you. Gene Deal got Biggie Smalls killed, homie. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now listen, I'm gonna go live again because we're gonna talk about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We going yo. We gonna talk about J. Cole and we gonna talk about K. Dot. That's what we gonna talk about next. And we gonna hash this thing out because I got a lot of people in the DM. Big G and BTV, the Oracle. And don't you forget the TV, and you better always remember the Oracle. What are your thoughts? What is your perspective on everything that's going down with K. Dot and Kendrick Lamar? What do you think about that situation? You know, you give us your hip hop analysis on what's going on between these two guys and who you got up. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all my synopsis on that situation, and it's not gonna take long, homie. We going live probably about 4:30. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting real, baby. That's fire, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to say what I need to say about J. Cole and K. Dot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You in the chat, big salute to all 120 people in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get that notification because we're going to talk about it. But this particular conversation right here, I wanted to send that out to Gene Deal. I know you watching, homie. You, Choke No Joe, Hassan Campbell, all of these big YouTubers, they watch the channel, homie. Salute to Hassan Campbell for reaching out and letting me know he watched the channel. But Choke No Joke, these dudes, they be plotting and watching and scheming and, yeah, spitting and skitting and shit. That's what they do. So, Gene, this go out to you, homie. You got Biggie Smalls killed, man. You roll with P. Diddy and you helped him and you catered to his what he needed to become a monster. See, first what happened is Puff Daddy was victimized by the higher ups and elites. Yeah, it's stories. Kim Porter said some things about Puff Daddy. A lot of y'all don't know about Andre Harrell. Andre Harrell. He passed away the same way, Kim Porter passed away. These mysterious aneurysms, these mysterious, health conditions that come out of nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? But Kim Porter said she saw Puff Daddy on his knees doing what he do best when it come to Andre Harrell. So Puff Daddy was introduced to manipulation by sex. He was introduced on how to manipulate people and how to get what you want out of people after you victimize them, after you sexualize them. And what Puff Daddy do? He made He made Christopher Williams get on his knees. Yeah, Puff Daddy felt like he was Nino Brown. Back in those days, Christopher Williams, Al B. Shore, these light-skinned dudes was in power. And then out of nowhere, a movie called New Jack City came. And we got Wesley Snipes, one of the blackest men on earth, beating up light-skinned dudes, stabbing them in the hand, disrespecting them, taking their women. And then you got Puff Daddy that come right behind that. So after Andre Harrell victimized Puff Daddy and had him sucking cock, Puff Daddy went and got Christopher Williams and had him sucking cock. And Kim Porter knew all about that. And after he indulged in taking power from these artists, submitting them sexually, making them do what they want to do sexually, he becomes the monster that he is today. And you got dudes like Gene Deal that supported that. You got dudes like Gene Deal that protected Puff Daddy for all those years. You got dudes like what's the boy name, man? Mark Curry. Mark Curry going to all those parties, knowing that the drinks was spiked, knowing that the alcohol had drugs in it, knowing that the juice had drugs in it, knowing it. Gene Deal, he knew those bottles was spiked. He knew that something, he didn't drink none of the alcohol because he knew it had drugs in it. So if you take down a Puff Daddy, you got to take down everybody that was around him, homie. Everybody. That's why the situation with R. Kelly never added up. Because, yeah, they took down R. Kelly, but they never took down the parents that were bringing them little girls to R. Kelly. They never took down the assistants and the managers and the security that was protecting R. Kelly. Nobody paid but R. Kelly. See, that's not what's going to happen with P. Diddy. So, Gene Deal, you're doing a lot of talking. But when the cross-examination come, your ass is out of here. Yeah, your ass is out of here, baby. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. The game is the game. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to have to tell it all. And you got to understand something. Even the rats go to jail. 6ix9ine, he went to jail. Troy Ave, he went to jail. Young Gunner, he went to jail. Gene Deal is going to face jail time, but Gene Deal is also a man behind a badge. Gene Deal is a security. He has all kind. He holds a badge, so he's probably not going to do no time because again, Diddy is a monster. Diddy got full of power. He got full of greed. He became intoxicated with power. But the only way he can have power is to have people around him that's helping him. To have people around him that's catering to his needs. Same thing with R. Kelly. R. Kelly would never have been able to get them young girls all the way to his house. He would never have been able to get those young girls to X, Y, and Z if he didn't have a third party helping them. He didn't have assistants, managers, parents, security. Everybody's helping them. And Gene Deal, you got to understand something. You've been helping Puff Daddy for a long time, homie. You not a victim. You not a witness. This nigga act like he an eyewitness. How was you there and all that shit was happening and you did nothing about it? That's the real question. When Diddy came out in that robe and he exposed himself and he let Shorty start giving him fellatio, why was you in the same room with him, Gene Deal? When Diddy was shopping around buying butt plugs at a damn sex store, why was you walking around that sex store, Gene Deal? Why was you in there? Somebody, yeah, get him on the line, homie. Get Gene Deal on the line and we can have a conversation. Nobody wants to tell Gene Deal what he did. You got Biggie Smalls assassinated. And then, when he realized, and I had to break that story down because when he realized that he said too much, now he wants to start jumping around and, Puff Daddy, we need his security. Hey, Diddy, let me ride. No. Diddy already done made the call to the higher-ups and the elites. He done already told them. The higher-ups and the elites done gave the green light and said, yeah. You done already, and mind you, Gene Deal would have never opened his mouth. Puffy would have never knew until Biggie Smalls went to that next label. And Puff Daddy would have never knew what Biggie Smalls had going on until they would have gotten to renegotiations for the next, contract. Hey man, you coming back to Bad Boy? We want to re-sign you. You did 2 albums over here. We made millions of dollars. We want you to come back, and we want you to bring Little Kim, and we want you to bring Junior Mafia with you. And then Biggie would have said, nah, I'm not coming back. Can you give me 75 million? Because I got a check right here for 62 million. Can you do 75? And Diddy, we can't do, well, I'm going over there and I'm taking everybody with me. Diddy would not have been able to do nothing. And now Biggie would have been under some, he would have been somewhere else. He would have been protected by them and their money. And Puffy, they would have been assed out. And Bad Boy record label and the staff wouldn't have never existed after, it would have never existed after Biggie. Yeah. I say the same thing. I say the same thing about Jaguar Wright. I say the same thing. I haven't done a video on her yet, but I always say the same thing. Like, anybody that can give you these very detailed encounters with the higher ups and the elites, with the puppets like Puff Daddy and Jay-Z, anybody that can give you very detailed encounters about parties and sexual assault and drugs and all of these things, they were there. They were there. They were in the room. They never said anything until the industry, spit them out. Until Jaguar Wright was not able to book shows anymore, until Jaguar Wright was not able to do MTV Unplugged with Jay-Z, until she fell off, now you want to expose everybody. Same thing with Gene Deal. See, when you was in there with Usher, and he was kissing that girl in the mouth, you didn't say nothing. You didn't say, Usher, what the hell are you doing? You too young for that, but she's a grown ass. Usher, get up out of here. You didn't do that. You didn't say that. You wasn't protecting nobody. When you was there with Diddy, you was ass kissing. You was boot rubbing. You was doing all of those things that Diddy wanted you to do. Now that you can't book a job no more, your health insurance and your dental insurance done ran out. You're not young enough to be security anymore. You're not relevant in the industry anymore. Nobody is looking to hire Gene Deal. Nobody's scared of Gene Deal. Now you want to expose everybody, but you're gonna expose, well, you already exposed yourself. And you ain't heard nobody on this app say this. You ain't heard nobody on social media say this. Everybody listening to Gene Deal, but nobody asking Gene Deal the real questions. Why did you tell on Biggie Smalls? Why did you, he told that you was smoking weed. Why would you tell his whole business strategy? Why would you expose everything he had up his sleeve, homie? Let me tell you something, man. Let me address that real quick. You know what? I'm not even going to address that. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You came to the right place. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, my G. You know what I mean? So you going to tap in and you going to tap out, but you know my slogan, and you know what I suggest. I suggest you tap in. Yeah. Normally I'm driving. Normally I'm not able to really engage with the chat, but we engaging today. Salute to all 100 people that's in the chat. Salute to all 98 people that's in the chat. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, man. I wanted to put that out there, and somebody asked me earlier in the chat, how was my flight yesterday? My flight was beautiful. Went up to New York City, man. When you start, it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm blessed, highly favored. And, I was able to, me and my, marriage is a business. Marriage is a business. And, you get with your partner, right? And y'all get a marriage license and a marriage certificate, and y'all create and y'all start that business. And I gotta say, man, we've definitely grown financially. So this particular year, we actually got an accountant, a family accountant that handles our finances, handles our money, and puts us in position to pull more triggers when it comes to property, pull more trigger when it comes to investments and whatever else we want to do. So I was in New York to sit down with the accountant, you know what I'm saying, do taxes, and make sure the numbers is right, make sure the numbers is good for next year so that we can get more property. And when I was in New York, it was cold as hell. It was cold as hell for sure. And it was an earthquake up there. It was an earthquake up there. And I don't know, man. You gotta understand something where I'm at right now. Um, you know, I don't do well. I don't do I don't do well with the cold weather. I don't do well with the cold weather, man. Um, and yeah, I felt that, and then it was an earthquake. 4.8. It was really spooky. Um, so I said I gotta get out of here, man. Come up to New York, handle taxes, handle finances, handle business, that grown man business, and then I caught a flight right out of there, and I came back down to the Sunshine State. My flight was pretty cool. My flight was beautiful. Um, what's he talking about? I don't know. What you talking about? Yo, Saucy, that I ain't gonna lie, Saucy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That name itself, my G, is terrible. Are you Saucy Santana? Because your name is Saucy. So is there a Santana? Listen, man, I want to tell you something, man. We don't deal with over here at Grown Man Business TV. We don't deal with transmissions, homie. We don't deal with transmissions. We don't work on cars. We don't work on transmissions. I understand that you transmissions, y'all get to slipping every now and then. You might want to go to Gilbert Arenas and Swaggy P if you want somebody that deal with you. We don't deal with transmissions over here, homie. We don't do diagnostics. We don't change oil. You understand me? This is Grown Man Business TV, and with a name like Saucy, you're giving me real Saucy Santana vibes. You're giving me real No Diddy vibes. I don't want no parts of that, man. And over here, you don't get no love, no light. We don't respect it, none. You don't have no rights over here. You understand me? You have absolutely no rights over here at Grown Man Business TV. We will, yeah. I take your ass to a chop shop. I get your transmission ass chop shop, homie. Your name is Saucy. I'm gonna get your ass chopped. I'm not taking you to a mechanic. You want to talk to a mechanic, you go talk to Gilbert Arenas. You go talk to goddamn Swaggy P. They got, yeah. They're mechanics. Mason Betha. No Diddy. Mason Betha. You take it, but with a name like Saucy, you talking about answer me, boy. I don't know what you own, but we ain't playing like that over here. You goddamn, hey, you in the wrong place. We don't listen. We don't deal with transmissions. We don't deal with transformers. It ain't no oil changes going down over here. It ain't none of that taking place. You are at Grown Man Business TV, homie. And you gonna respect that. Now, Saucy, you come in the goddamn chat again, talking. I don't even know what you're talking about. But with a name like Saucy, I'm very tempted to go ahead and block you up off this. I might have to block you next time I see you, Saucy. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of you, Saucy. So I got to get rid of you, Saucy. So Saucy. Respectfully, Saucy, I got to get rid of you. I got to get rid of you, man. Change your name, man. Come back, and then we can talk, man. But with a name like Saucy, you in the wrong place, homie. But yeah, we went ahead and handled some business in New York, man, and I'm back at the big house. And I said, you know what? On my way to the airport, I went live. I was in the back of the Uber, and I ain't gonna lie, man. Handling business for the last week and some change. I ain't seen the bar. I ain't even hit my bar up. I just said, fuck. When you handling business, sometimes you gotta get ugly, homie. Sometimes when you handling business, when you on your grown man business, we ain't getting no edge ups. We not shaping up the beard. We ain't going to get no lineup. We not bringing the waves out. We ain't doing none of that. We handling business. You understand? Yeah. I went out. Now mind you, I done came back home. I done went and seen the barber. You know what I'm saying? I done seen my dog. He chopped me up nice and neat. But I didn't have no haircut yesterday. I stayed where I was at. Got in the back of the Uber, and something told me to lock in with y'all, and I started talking about the whole situation with Gene Deal, but I didn't go into depths. I didn't elaborate, and here we are. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. We really took it to another level with this family accounting, man. You understand what I'm saying? We, a lot of people when it comes to handling business, they going, taxes, y'all going to TurboTax and y'all going to H&R Block and y'all doing all these other things. But when you have a business that's being ran and you got an LLC that's established and that LLC is creating over 6 figures a year, then you need to have an accountant that really direct the funds a little bit. You need an accountant year round. And I learned a lot sitting down with that accountant. Oh, I learned a lot, man. And I'm going left. But took the LLC, converted it into an S corp. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because when you got an LLC that's doing over 6 figures a year, when you got an LLC that's doing 120, 130, 150, 160,000 a year under that LLC, you being taxed twice. You being taxed for the money that you make, and then you being taxed for the employees that you pay. You being taxed for paying yourself. You being taxed twice. Yeah. So again, man, big shout out to New York City. I can only deal with New York City. I can only deal with New York City for a few days, man. I can never stay that long. And it's cold, it's dirty, it's filthy in New York City. Went to the Soho House, really enjoyed that. We got a membership at the Soho House. Had a good time there. And man, I came back to Florida, baby. I came back to the big house. If you ain't in tune with the channel, you already know. Man, listen to me. If you ain't in tune with the channel, you already know where you at. For everybody that is locked in, make sure you tap into the realest. Yeah. You already know, baby. You in the right place. This is Grown Man Business TV. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah. So I can't stay in Florida that long. I mean, I got to get back to Florida. I can't stay in New York City that long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is what it is. You came into the right place. Tell Gene Deal to get at me. Let's have a conversation, Gene. Let's have a conversation, homie. I'm not one of the little YouTubers that's just talking this and just talking that. If you want to have a grown man conversation, we can have that grown man conversation, Gene Deal. And I tell you, homie, on live to your face and however you want it, that you got Biggie Smalls killed. Biggie Smalls could have had something like this. But what you did was you told on Biggie. You ratted on Biggie. You exposed him. Is what it is, homie. So yeah, I'm in the big house. Let me show you. Let me show you how I give it up. Let me show you how I give it up. See, I get to pushing. I get to opening these doors like that. Yeah. I get to opening these doors. Yeah, you see how we give it up. Don't worry. See that? Cameras everywhere. Yeah, cameras everywhere. Cameras everywhere out here. I'm not your average YouTuber, homie. I'm not your average YouTuber. Yeah, it look like an Airbnb, don't it? Yeah. Tell Gene to get at me. Nah, we own this shit, man. Come on, baby. We own this shit over here. This ain't no you. This ain't, again, salute to everybody that's new in the chat. Salute to all the newcomers. Salute to all the new subscribers. Because y'all will believe that this is an Airbnb. Y'all would believe that this is rented and I own shit. We owning shit. Everybody that's in tune with the channel, they already know about this. Y'all just knew. Y'all ain't seen it because y'all knew. Y'all new to this. Shit is like a resort, baby. Yeah, we living like it's like a resort. Marble. You see the white marble? See the motherfucking white marble? Like, yeah, this is like a resort. It's like a resort, baby. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Yeah, I probably gonna get in the jacuzzi tonight. What time it is? What time it is? Salute. It's your Joy Luxury Hair. What it do, baby? You already know how we giving it up. To all the new investors, to all the people that's just tuning in, be sure to subscribe to the channel. You know, I always make sure I show y'all that, so y'all know y'all ain't dealing with the average YouTuber. You're not dealing with one of these dudes sitting in the back office, or sitting in the back closet of they grandmama house or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them. When I talk, you gonna listen. Yeah. When I talk, you gonna listen for sure. Gene Dale. Yeah. Yeah. I know it's gonna excite you. A rental. I know that. I know that. But honestly, to be, 100% honest, man, it's no rental here, baby. You know. Again, which is why I got an accountant. We had to get an accountant because, this property right here is about almost 600,000. And then you got a property up north that's about 400,000. And then we got money coming in every year that's 160,000, 170,000. You got to find ways to start beating the system and start beating the taxes and start beating shit. And that's what the accountant does for you. Nah, I hate animals. Well, let me not say that. I ain't gonna say I hate animals. I don't deal with animals. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother topic, but dog fur, cat fur. I ain't into that shit. I don't like fur, and that's the same. See, take it how you want to take it, but white people, their hair is like dog fur. So I would never have a cat, I would never have a dog, and I would never date a white woman because I don't like fur all around my goddamn house. I don't want fur all over my pillows and all over my sheets, all over my carpet, all over my bathroom. So I would never have a cat, I would never have a dog, and I would never date a white woman. Not just white women, but Spanish women, Puerto Rican, Latino women, Asian women. I wouldn't date. I don't want no female that hair shed like a dog or shed like an animal. I don't care. It ain't exotic to me. Black women are exotic to me. Black women are exotic. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Take it how you want to. So I don't deal with fur, homie. See, this right here. This is not fur. My hair don't shed like that. We don't shed like animals. So this is not fur right here. This is ether. This is a whole nother thing. But white people, Asian people, Latino people, everybody like that. They got that so-called good hair. I ain't into that shit. So again, I will not have a cat, I will not have a dog, and I will never date out. I will never date a white woman. Yeah. Now let's talk about that. Yeah, black women will wear weave. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Shadroor Luxury Hair, because that's my homie right there. She do her thing with the with the lace fronts and the wig. I'm not into wigs. I don't like that shit. You understand? I don't really like wigs. But I'll say this. Most black women that wear weave, if you take that weave out and they take them braids out, or they got beautiful hair up under that weave. Now, whatever reason they wear the weave, that's their thing. You understand what I'm saying? Again, salute to Shadroor Luxury Hair, because, if you go on YouTube, if you go on Instagram and you type in Shadroor Luxury Hair, you will see some of the top, most beautifulest weaves and hairdos for black women. And I'm sure it's other women as well, but I just see the black women on the channel and on the page, and it's amazing, beautiful work. I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But if those same women take that weave off and undo them braids and them cornrows, yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now, this is a personal salute, Wisdom B. This is a personal opinion, and I ain't gonna say I don't like those women. I just prefer. I don't prefer. I don't have anything against Puerto Rican women. I know a lot of people from different races. You know what I'm saying? I rub shoulders and I do business with a lot of people from different races. But when it comes to the women, I'm not one of those dudes that could ever be persuaded because you send a Puerto Rican chick or you send an Italian chick or you send a white woman around. I'm not one of them guys. I'm real militant with that. Yeah, it's crazy. Divorced truck driver. That's a funny name, homie. Salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody that's locked in. You feel me? I don't do no animals there though. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like, answer me this question: Do white women hair shed like an animal? Do Puerto Rican women hair shed like an animal? Just answer that question, yes or no. Do they hair shed like an animal? Like an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like if white women and shit is respectfully. It's nothing. I'm not being disrespectful, but white women when they brush their hair, that shit get everywhere. It's like an animal. It remind me of a golden retriever. You ever seen a golden retriever? You ever brushed a golden retriever? You ever brushed one of those animals? That shit is, yeah, man, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Latino women, Asian women, they all shed like animals, man. And I ain't into that animal. I don't like that. Okay, when you pour water or it rain on a white woman head, why do it smell like a dog? When you pour water or it rain on a Puerto Rican or Asian woman or Italian woman, when you rain, because it smells like a dog because it's not hair, it's fur. Nah, white women don't have hair, they have fur. And fur sheds. That's why animals with fur shed everywhere. Feel what I'm saying? Think about this shit. Think about this. When you ever wondered to yourself why white people smell like a dog when they get wet? Do you ever think to yourself, why do these white people smell like animals, a dog, when they get wet? That's because it's the animal instinct inside. They animalistic. Animalistic, man. So I'm one of the one. I'm not one of them ones, homie. You can't. Yeah, salute to Shajor, man. Salute to Shajor Luxury Hair, man. You know what I mean? Doing a thing, almost 100K followers on Instagram, killing shit. I'm rocking with that. I don't do the I don't do the I don't do the I don't do the other side, man. I don't do the other side. Yeah, this is a total turn off for me. I don't deal with no. It got to be black, and I'm talking about black. I don't want the mixed black. I don't like the hair. I like the hair to be. I like nigga hair. I like it to be black people. I want it to be cornrows, nigga, real cornrow hair. I don't want the, you know what I'm saying. And if it was up to me, that's good. That's good. I ain't saying they want queens. I'm with you, Wisdom B. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't. Well. Let's talk about that. Um, I hate when people say, "Imagine a white person saying this," or "Imagine they done already said this. They done already did this." When you say imagine a white person calling black people animals, they called us animals for 400 years. They treated us like animals for 400 years. They beat us like animals for 400 years. So I hate when people say, imagine if a white person said this, and I mean it said that. Well, well, if they got enough nuts to say it in 2024, that's on them. But now the tables have turned. See, now that's why, and that's a whole nother story. We could talk about that, but the tables have turned, homie. In 2024, I'm telling you, white people don't have hair. That's why this is where the whole good hair agenda came from. Good hair and bad hair. The whole time, white people knew they don't have hair, they have fur. And because I'm just speaking the truth, it become a problem and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being disrespectful. White people shed like a golden retriever, like a Labrador. You understand? And that just is what it is. This is hair. That's fur. Hair doesn't shed, homie. Hair is not something that's gonna be all over your house, all over your bathroom, all over the carpet, all over your pillows. That is fur. So when people have animals in their house like dogs and shit, they got to get certain type brushes and certain vacuums to vacuum up the fur, to vacuum up the fur that's shedded everywhere. But when you have hair, if dogs had hair, they wouldn't have to worry about shedding. Hair doesn't shed, fur sheds. So I'm just not into that shit. There's no, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? There's respect to all women, all different nationalities and all different shades and colors, you know what I'm saying? It's respectfully. I think they're all queens. The queens are queens, and you know, and everybody, whatever it's gonna be. But you know, I'm not into nothing that sheds, man. And because a lot of black women wear weave or wear wigs that have European hair in it, even if damn weave is shed. You get a black woman get the wrong wig or the wrong weave, and that shit sheds everywhere too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I ain't in it. I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, I like black. I want my shit black. I don't want nothing. I don't want it mixed. I never fell for the I never fell for the whole exotic trend. I never fell for that. You know what I'm saying? I never was that guy. I never was wanting exotic. And it's not racist, it's real. You know what I'm saying? That's another problem in America, is that, you know, when black people start speaking against the status quo, is when black people start speaking against what's normal, right? It's considered racism. What if white people, listen, white people done already did they damage. Now I'm telling you, I don't like dog fur. I don't like dog fur, homie. White people used to call black people monkeys. It's white people right now that if they watch, it's white people right now that if they watch Planet of the Apes, if they say it or not, they think of those apes as black people. They think them shits is monkeys, like they think we monkeys, right? They've been saying that shit for years. We already know. So now that I tell you, I don't want no dog fur in my car. I don't want no, but the fact of the matter is I'm saying it out loud. I'm being honest with you. So I ain't just looking, because, you know, when I see that kind of hair, when I see that kind of fur on these women, I could think to myself, like, I don't want, but I'm just saying it out loud. Bro, white people hair, Asian people, everybody that don't have this, right? They got like white people type of hair. It's not hair, it's fur. And if I take my hand and I pull my hand through your fur, I'm gonna have a fistful of fur. If I take a brush or a comb and I swipe it through your fur, I'm gonna have a comb full of fur. I don't want that shit. I never liked it, man. Never liked it, man. Never liked it. Never liked it, man. Never, ever, ever, never liked it. So listen, man. Been up here with y'all for well over. Been up here with y'all for a nice little while, man. Big salute to everybody that's in the chat. Listen, be sure to sub to the channel. We don't need, listen. Nah. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. The truth sounds crazy. When you living in a world full of lies, homie, the truth is gonna sound crazy. Nah, I wouldn't touch Adam 22's girl. Yeah, but it's still, but come on, man, shit is still fur. Shit is still fur. Salute, salute, salute. Make sure y'all lock into the channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Um, for sure. Even the haters, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We growing organically. We approaching 20,000 subscribers right now as we speak. And you know, big salute to everybody that's locked in. You know what I'm saying? One thing for sure, two things for certain. This is what you gotta understand, right? I'm a black man that stand on my business, that stand on grown man business, that stand on black business. That's that. But I rock with everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like we can make money together, we can do business together, we can chop it up, we can have dialogue. Because you gotta understand something. Grown man business surpasses race. That's another reason why this channel is grown man business, because one thing for sure, two things for certain, grown man business surpasses race. There are grown men that's gonna stand on grown man business in all and every culture. And I'm willing to rub shoulders and do business and talk that talk with grown men. That's why, homie, with the name Saucy, we had to get him out of here because it remind me of Saucy Santana, and we ain't on no transmission talk. We ain't on no transformer talk. We ain't on none of that rainbow coalition talk. This is grown man business, and grown man business surpasses race. You got white boys that stand on grown man business, and they'll tell you about it. You got Asian boys that stand on grown man business. You got, yeah, all races. The only problem and the only difference is you don't see too many black men standing on grown man business. So when black men stand on business and tell you we don't want no white girls, we don't want no Asians, we want black women, we don't want nothing that ain't black, it's confused for racism. Y'all not used to hearing a black man stand on grown man business, but y'all are used to black men dressing like Saucy Santana. Y'all are used to that shit. So when you come here for the real, homie. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. Y'all came to the right place. Yeah, you came to the right place, homie. Yeah, you came to the right place. Gene Deal, you should be ashamed of yourself, and we can have a conversation, homie. Definitely want to hear from you. I'm sure, hey, they say you gonna respond. I'm gonna be looking for that. When you told on Biggie Smalls, you got him killed, homie. You got him killed. You signed his death certificate when you told his whole situation. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to everybody in the chat. Charlie P, what it do? My boy Charlie P gunning y'all down right there. Pause, my bad. No Diddy. My boy Charlie P got a gun in your head right now. And you make any false move, he blowing your head off. Yeah, Biggie. But you know what? He shouldn't have went to Cali. And that's what I mean when I say Diddy already knew that his life was in danger, and Diddy had multiple different avenues and multiple different angles that he could approach Biggie. And, you know, depending on how he felt and depending on what was going on and depending on, you know, the money that he was going to converse with Biggie and make. Because, again, Biggie had that situation. Listen, it get deep. Biggie had that situation with his mom's house being built. He didn't have enough money. So you know what he did? He sold the rest of his publishing to Puff Daddy. And he took, I think it was like $60,000, and he went to send that to his mama. So Diddy, you know, Diddy was feeling pretty good. And Diddy was saying, you know what? These guys want you dead. But you an asset right now. It's no reason for me to give you up. You an asset. But as soon as Gene Deal told Puff Daddy what Biggie was going to do, that was it. Puff Daddy flipped out, got in Biggie Smalls' face and said, nigga, what? Whoa. You mean, this what you doing? Went to the mansion, said, I don't care that Puff Pac could die. You know, Suge could go to jail, and even Biggie could get killed. Even Biggie could die. He said this out his own mouth. All after Gene Deal told him what Biggie was doing with Lil' Kim and Junior Mafia in the $62 million check, homie. Yeah. So he shouldn't have went there, but he would have made it out. He definitely would have made it out if Gene Deal wouldn't have opened up his mouth. So listen, man, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Big salute to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We going to tap back in. Listen. Oh, before I go, yes. Barry, yes. Soft mode. A lot of these New Yorkers, a lot of these dudes don't really understand. And I try to tell them, like back in the day, New York City was trendsetters. We used to, everybody wanted to be like New York City. It was the whole agenda. It was the whole facade. It was a whole mirage that was painted for the world to think about the Big Apple. And when Biggie lost his life, when Biggie got murdered, when Biggie got blown away, when Biggie got his snot box rocked. Yeah, salute to Hassan Campbell. Biggie Smalls got his snot box rocked. New York ain't do nothing about it. New York ain't drop a diss song. New York ain't do nothing. New York sat there, and that was the downfall. That was the end. That's when New York was over. Ever since then, New York been following our trends. New York been following Cali trends. New York been wanting to be like Chicago. We would have never thought we'd see the day that it was Bloods and Crips in New York City after they killed Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls rolling in his damn grave that it's a whole bunch of Bloods and a whole bunch of Crips in New York City after they blew his head off. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. That's why I tell Lil Zippy with the drippy, all that shit don't mean nothing. Yeah, y'all got a lot of work to do. Y'all got over 40 years worth of work to put in. Y'all lost a long time ago, homie. Shit, Virginia, we had y'all riding skateboards and shit. For Real Williams and the Neptunes, we had dudes in Brooklyn, New York riding skateboards. Now Chicago got y'all running drills. Yeah. Future and them Atlanta boys had y'all sounding like Future. Yeah. Designer, we thought that was Future, but that dude is from Brooklyn, New York. The game is wicked, homie. Yeah, the game is wicked. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. We going live at 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I think about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. We gonna talk about this, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. We gonna talk about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Got a lot of people in the DM saying Big G and BTV the Oracle. Don't you forget the TV, and you better always remember the Oracle. What is your thoughts? What is your perspective? What is your hip-hop synopsis on the situation with J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. So listen, man. Yeah, for sure, 100%. I can dig that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? And you can get an eyeful of that anytime. Anytime I'm live, you can tune in. You can get an eyeful of that. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. So listen, man, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. Listen, I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick into the bottles. I'm going to give you that dope. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight, raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing, and we not dressing nothing up. Listen, Gene Deal, I had to give it to you straight real. You got Biggie Smalls killed. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be at all times. Is what it is, and you came to the right place. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. 6:30. Let's make it 6:30. 6:30. We going live again. We're going to talk about this thing with K-Dot and Cole. West Coast, East Coast, California, North Carolina. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. You know what I mean? And I don't want to give no perspective. I don't want to give no clue on how I'm going to approach this. But I got some real insight. I got a real perspective when it come to that. So we going to talk rap. We going to talk hip-hop. Yeah, we going to talk that talk. 6:30, 2 hours. Yeah. All right. So listen, man, big salute to everybody that's in the channel. Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We going live again at 6:30. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get that notification. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. Gene Deal, you might want to respond to this, homie. You got, yeah, you got Biggie Smalls assassinated. You should regret that. You should, yeah. It's pitiful, homie. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Gang.